Hey everyone, this is Audrey Williams and this is my Pressing On Tuesday edition, and we might talk about that here in a little bit because I've recently taken a new job and I'm kind of working on eliminating some things in my life, and I think maybe one of the things I will do is make a once a week show instead of twice a week. So anyway, my name is Audrey Williams and this is my Pressing On show, and today it's going to be Pressing On and Personal Development. I don't know how many of you guys read once a day or listen to audiobooks once a day. I really try to. Hi everyone, thanks for catching on here. So I posted something on my Facebook page the other day. I actually tagged my mother in it because I feel like she always does everything for everyone else and doesn't take care of herself. So she actually threw that back on me and said that I'm exact same way, and I know where I get it from. So the little meme said that you can't pour from an empty cup, and I feel like here lately I've taken on so many different things. It's hard to take care of those that I love because I'm taking care of all these other things that I've put on my plate. So you know how in an airplane when you're fixing to take off, they tell you, the little breathing mask, they tell you that first you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of any others with you. So that's kind of the idea here, and yeah, I'm glad you agree. So personal development is pretty huge to me. I make sure, as far as personal development, maybe even spiritual development with me, I make sure to study lessons that we're doing in church. I write everything down so that I can go back and really study it. It's hard to pay attention in a sermon, but I write everything down and try to study it later. Even as I'm teaching the children in the nursery, I still go back and look at those verses to make sure. Hey, Crystal's here finally. Sorry, Crystal, I had to come on a few minutes early because I'm exhausted. Anyway, okay, so personal development is what I'm talking about today, and I want to see how many of you also feel the same way I do about taking care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. I'm reading a book called Giants in the Marketplace, but David's in the Pew. So it's I think I've mentioned this before. It kind of talks about how you can be successful at business, but you don't have to be a jerk. You can still be a Christian. So that's one of the books I'm reading, and I think my husband and I are going to start another Christian marriage book when this one is done. It's actually called Love, Sex, and Lasting Relationships, but it's all about what God says is supposed to happen in your relationship. So I'm interested to see what that one says, but I just wanted to see how many of you read daily. Statistics say at least 30 minutes a day. 15 to 30 minutes a day is what you should be giving to yourself for personal development, whether, like I said, whether it be spiritual development, whatever it is, but 15 to 30 minutes a day, personally taking care of yourself before you can take care of others. So that was one thing I wanted to say. I am, on that same note, I am kind of taking some things off my plate so that I can focus more on me, and if I take better care of me, I can take better care of those around me. So I am, several of my church duties, I'm kind of passing those off to other people so that I can focus more on the things that I'm passionate about, the things that I feel like God has called me to do. I still love teaching the kids. I still love lots about what I do. I just feel here lately that I've taken on way too much. So if anybody else feels like that, let me know and share with me how you manage it all, because I feel like here lately I've taken on way too much. So one of the things I'm going to do, like I said, I'm kind of taking off some of the responsibilities that I've had at our church, just to give someone else the opportunity to do those things, but also to give me the opportunity to take care of my family better. Another thing I think I'll do is, instead of having two live broadcasts of this Pressing On edition, I think I'll just do one, and I think I will probably, let me know what you think, but I think I will probably do it on a Friday. It's still going to be Pressing On. I'm still going to give you business advice, mommy advice, all of that. I just think I'm going to do it on Friday. That way I can kind of keep a running list throughout the week of things that have happened or ideas that I come up with. Hey, Kara, how are you? So ideas that I have, things like that. That way on Friday I can kind of share everything at once instead of having two different broadcasts weekly, because that's just becoming way too much, and I've got to kind of, like I said, get some things off my plate here. So let me tell you, I always kind of explain a little bit about the kiddos because that is my passion, my kiddos. So I've got Douglas, a 17-year-old. Hey, Kara. So I've got Douglas, a 17-year-old. He is finally driving. He's driving himself back and forth to work. Actually, he should get off work probably about 9. Last night he got off about 9:30 and asked if he can go to Sonic with some friends, and that's a first for me. And I don't know if most of you know me, but if you don't know me very well, I'm a very, very strict mother, and I like to keep my kids in my little bubble, and I feel like the less they're out there doing things, the less they're likely to get into trouble. And so it was a real kind of struggle for me to allow him to go to Sonic with his friends after work at 9:30, but it was just stopping and getting milkshake, and he was home before 10:30, so it wasn't so bad. But that was a real struggle for me to be able to allow him to do that. But I know he needs his independence now that he's driving. Hey, Phil, how are you? So now that he's driving, he needs his independence. He needs to learn to make those good decisions, and Mommy can't always be there for him. So I've only got... Sonic is a gateway drug, Kara. I sure hope not. He did really well. He had a milkshake and came home in less than an hour, so I think he did okay. And you guys know Douglas. Most of you know Douglas. He's a really good kid, and so I think I can trust him. Prior to this, we've never even talked about what to do in circumstances like if somebody offered something he shouldn't have, or if he even has a curfew. We've never even talked about those sort of things. So it's just kind of new to me to kind of manage all of this that's happening in my life. So that's why I said I'm kind of taking some things out of my life to kind of focus on what's important to me. And I only have, think about it. If Douglas leaves when he's 18, I have a year left with him. So that's where my priority should be right now, is spending my last year with him before he moves out. Then I've got the 9-year-old. Hey, Robin, how are you? So I've got the 9-year-old that I'll start homeschooling. He'll be back from his dad's in Texas next week, so I'll start homeschooling him. I think he'll be back Thursday. We'll probably start the following Monday. So I think we're about a week behind public school, but we'll start the following Monday, and I know that's going to be another big task on my shoulders, but that's what I choose to do. And if I had to take everything that I'm doing and narrow it down to just a handful of the priorities, that would be one of them, is taking care of my family. Yes, my friends too. So I'm going to do that starting a week from Monday. And then Lily. Everybody saw on Facebook what happened to Lily. It was ridiculous. She's really, really fair-skinned. She has probably gotten impetigo maybe 6 to 8 times in the last 18 months. And so what happens is everybody has staph, I guess, on their skin. She's just so sensitive that when she scratches a mosquito bite, it automatically causes an infection. This one on her little ankle just got worse than I've ever seen, and it got really bad really quick. I had taken her to the pediatrician. They gave her oral antibiotics, and they had actually said if I don't see a big significant change in 24 hours, to take her to the ER. So that's what happened. I ended up spending the night with her in the ER Friday night. It was crazy. Poor baby had to get an IV stuck in her hand. It was the most horrible thing a mommy has to go through. And that's what got me thinking about, I need to narrow down some of the things in my life so that I can focus on these things. That is these kids and their future. That's what I need to be worrying about. So believe me, I'm not giving up the wine thing because I still love wine. So as far as my live broadcast, like I said, I'll probably do it just once a week from now on. Probably do it on a Friday. I'm going to think about that and kind of announce how I'm going to do that. So, let me see what else is going on. I wanted to talk to you. I probably will at some point talk to you a little bit about some of the DIY cleaners I've been making. And I have to do this for Lily mostly, but also because of just the chemicals and stuff that our family, but everybody, I think, is inhaling and has all these chemicals on their skin and everything. But because Lily is so sensitive, I have to be real careful what I use with her and in the bathroom and everywhere else. So I've been making my own hand soaps, my own hair soaps, my own kitchen sanitizer, everything like that. So I'm going to share with you probably next week if I have time. I'll probably share with you the recipes and the ingredients and kind of how I'm doing those things. As far as the business trainings that I'm doing, I we are done with our 30-day live challenge, but as you can see, I'm still choosing to do my lives. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to narrow it down once a week instead of twice. I have one more lesson of my LinkedIn training, and it's really about learning how to follow up with people and things like that, which a lot of people aren't real great about. It's so funny because people will reach out to you, but when you ask, how many times has this happened to you? Seriously, you ask somebody a question and it shows they read it on Facebook, but they never respond. It's because they were busy, because whatever. So this last little lesson I'm learning is about how to remember to follow up with people and the best way to do that. And so I created a LinkedIn group where I'm sharing the knowledge that I have learned about LinkedIn. I'm sharing it with others. So I've got one more lesson of that, and that's off my plate. This 30-day live challenge that I was managing, that's done. That's off my plate. Yesterday, I started a new job. I'm still doing recruiting, still doing it from home. It's for another company that kind of, they contract with Army, Navy, and Air Force bases, and then they staff a lot of the positions at with the VA. So that's kind of interesting because I've never gotten into the government aspect of healthcare recruiting. And now it's going to be not just healthcare recruiting. It's also going to be anything from LVNs, MAs, phlebotomists, all the way up to gastroenterologists. So that's going to be really fun. It's even though I've done a lot of the recruiting, it's going to be interesting to learn that different piece of it. With government contracts, we were looking at a contract today that was like 96 pages long. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for me to learn these huge contracts and what all it entails. And if you don't do things for the government like at 100%, they're not going to hire you again. So this new job I love it. I'm already loving it. I'm loving all the people there. I think it is going to be a challenge, at least for a little while, until I kind of get a grasp of everything. So that's why I'm kind of putting everything on the back burner with what I'm doing here, taking some of the church stuff off my plate. These live broadcasts, I'm going to take one of those off my plate and just do one a week. So that's that. I'm still doing the wine thing. I'll probably still keep my wine page because really I can schedule 3 posts a day, funny memes or whatever it may be. Wine is wine. Everybody wants wine. People come to me to get a membership. It's not that hard to do. So I will still keep that. And because I have 3 customers, my wine is free. So there's no reason to quit at this point. I'm getting free wine. So from here on out, it doesn't really matter. I'll get some customers. Maybe I get some more team members on my side to assist with selling these wine club memberships. But we'll kind of just see how that goes, how that plays out. About the wine thing, I'll just say a few little things really quick. In August, and the reason why I'm going to say this all in one is because I'm probably not going to do another live broadcast this week on my wine page. I'm just going to do it here and just once a week. So about the wine club memberships that I'm doing, remember in August, any of our subscriptions or monthly shipments that you get in August has the possibility of getting a golden ticket like the Willy Wonka style. So you could win up to $10,000. You could win a trip to Hawaii, a trip to New York City. And on that note, I don't know if many of you have heard of this trainer called Ray Higdon. So Ray Higdon is a phenomenal trainer. Actually Kimberly, one of the ladies on my team, several of the ladies on my team, but Kimberly is directly on my team. And she's taking a paid Ray Higdon course. And so Ray Higdon will be, hey, there's my husband. I'm wondering what I'm doing upstairs without Lily. So Ray Higdon is going to be at our New York City Uncorked event in October. So if you're interested, if you like the trainings of Ray Higdon, that would be a phenomenal time to go see him. And the prices are pretty reasonable for a 2 or 3 day national convention in New York City, all inclusive with wine and everything else. So that's pretty cool. If you're interested in that, you don't necessarily have to be a wine distributor like me, but you can be a customer and you can come see us and do that. So I've mentioned before about our expansion to the UK, so that's exciting. I've got several people that are interested in starting their own businesses in the UK, starting their own wine businesses in the UK, so we'll kind of see how that goes as we go along. I did get a new case of wine, and I was going to share some of that with you. I gave a bottle of Tempranillo, it was a Spanish Tempranillo, to a friend of mine, Suzanne, for her birthday Saturday night. I think it was, yes, Saturday night. As far as that, I haven't even had a chance to taste them. So I'm not as big of a wino as some may think. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it at that. I just want to let everybody know. I know I was supposed to be on at 1 p.m. today, but work and time and everything else got the best of me. But let me know. So the key of today was personal development. Let me know what you're listening to, what you enjoy, what you're watching, what you're reading. Kara says I'm a liar. I am not. I mean, okay, maybe I am a liar. I do have a glass of wine. I couldn't even go and find my nice glasses. This was just last minute. It's not the expensive wine. It's not the club membership wine. This is just a regular wine, a daily drinking wine that I have. I am not lying about not opening the 12 bottles of wine that I just got in the mail from the club. You always see right through me, Kara. Okay, well, the fact was that I have not tried the 12 wines from the club. I bought a case of wines. I have not tried those. I gave one, love you too, Kara. I gave one to my friend Suzanne, and as far as the other ones, I have yet to try them, but I will, and I will keep you all posted on how those taste and what I think about those. So anyway, let me know what you guys think as far as personal development, what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're listening to. How important that is to you, how often you do it, and I might even be sharing I'm making a list, seriously, a list of books that I'm going to read eventually, you know. So I'm going to make that list, and maybe I'll even share it in the comments below too. Phil says, where do you get all the time? I don't know yet. That's why I'm trying to take things off of my plate, because I do realize that I have a lot going on. And like I said in the beginning, I need to focus in on my priorities. And believe it or not, wine is still one of my priorities. So I'm not giving up wine. I'm not doing anything with that. I'm not letting go of that. So I'm going to kind of just narrow it down to my family, my finances, my family's finances, my children, those sort of things. I'm still going to do a little bit with the church, just not near as much as I was doing, because it's become a lot. So thank you everybody for watching, and let me know how you manage it all, what kind of personal development you listen to, or even if it's not that, I mean, where do you go to get your inspiration to get you through the day, the week, whatever it may be? How do you do that? So like I said, I probably will go on instead of Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to do it just Fridays, but I'm not going to do it this Friday because this is my first week on the new job. And as you can see, I just got out of the shower. I'm busy. It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy few days. So I will probably see you next Thursday for my live edition of Pressing On. And I thank everybody for watching. And yes, he is great. And I do rely on Christ. That's one of the things that when I read my personal development books and things like that, Phil, that's one of the things that I try to do is include a spiritual or Christian type book, not just business type, because there's a lot of, hey, Loria, there's a lot of different books that I've kind of got on my radar that I want to read, and I want them to be well balanced. So some Christian, some business related, kid related, you know, whatever it may be. So I try to balance it all. So anyway, I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you not this Friday, but next Friday. And then I'll start doing it on Fridays once a week for my Pressing On. Hi, Lydia. How are you? So I will see you not this Friday, but next Friday. And I hope you all have a great rest of the week and weekend. And we will see you next week. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.